Mark here again. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make one of these. So, your first thought probably is, Sensei, what is that thing? Well, this is called a slip bag. Now, a slip bag is something that boxers generally use to work on their head movement and timing. Now, we can use it for that, but I'm going to try and show you guys some different drills that you guys can do at home with one of these guys. So, before I show you all the drills, I have to show you how to make it. So I have all my items listed here that I'm going to use to make my slip bag today. I have a pair of scissors. I have some ribbon. You can also use string for this. One sock. A stuffed animal helper. And the last item might be optional depending on your setup, but you're probably going to need paint-safe tape, which means if you put this tape on the ceiling or a wall and you take it off, it shouldn't take any paint with it. Which does bring me to my next point. If you guys are not an adult and you do not own your own home, then you're probably going to need to ask your parents for permission and possibly their help setting this up. So actually the best way to hang this up is to not even use the tape, instead just to tie it onto something. So maybe you can tie it up to something nice and high like a ceiling fan, a light fixture, or a beam. But unfortunately I don't have that here, so I have to show you guys the other version of this. But again, if you have something to tie it up, I recommend doing that because that way if you swing it or hit it, there's no risk of it flying off. So, any kids watching, you're going to need your parents' help for this part. Okay? First thing you're going to do, or have your parents do, is take a piece of that blue tape and just put it right on top of that ribbon that, or string that you're using. Once you do that, you're going to stick that to your ceiling, just like this. Now when I cut this, I have to cut this about as high as my shoulder. So I take my pair of scissors, I pull it down just a little bit. I'm going to measure out about the height of my shoulder, and then from there, I'm going to cut it. Zip, just like that. That's step one. So, step two is going to be making the actual bag. Now you're going to need an assistant for this. So today I have my assistant here, Dobie. Dobie is a stuffed animal I had since I was about 6 years old, so it's been a while. Say hi, Dobie. And what we're going to do with Dobie is we're going to take him and we're going to put him in our sock. So the first thing to do is going to take Dobie, you're going to put him probably in behind first, shove him all the way in there until he is towards the bottom, and you want to make sure that your bag looks a little bit like a ball, just like this. And there you have it. That's step two. So the final step is just hanging my bag up. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ribbon, and I'm going to have my bag in my other hand, and I'm just going to tie it around the top to make a knot. Now, just be sure when you're tying this that the bag is as high as your head. Because if it's too high, when it's swinging, it's going to swing right over your head and it's not going to do anything. And if it's too low, it's probably going to swing too slow. So now that I have my bag hanging, I'm going to show you guys the first drill. It's actually really simple. All you do is take your bag and let it swing. Now, as it's swinging, my job is to avoid it. So I can do things like dodge to the side with a side step. I can duck under it. Alright, any kind of dodging movement I know to avoid it as it's swinging back and forth. So for this next one, you need to reinforce the top with a bit more tape or try to find something to tie it to in the ceiling. Because if you don't do that, when you hit it, because we're going to be hitting it, it's probably going to go flying off and break something. Okay? Speaking of which, don't hit it hard. The goal is to hit it with control. Tap it. If you punch it hard, it's going to come flying off the ceiling. Okay, so instead, I get my fighting stance and I tap. And now I'm tapping it with jabs or crosses, straight punches only. And I'm hitting with the right part of my fist, and I'm going to get a little closer to it. The goal is to get as many of these punches in a row as I can. So for the final drill, I'm going to combine the two. I'm going to use my evasive movements and my strikes. So I get my fighting stance behind, I start tapping it with punches, and then I add my moves. I can dodge it, sidestep it, maybe, I don't know, slip it, whatever you like. Get creative. This is the time for you to have some fun. Do all sorts of things. Maybe you add an elbow strike. Maybe you add a hook. Whoa, that makes things interesting. But just keep moving around it and striking any way you'd like. And I hope to see how creative you guys get next time you see me. Man, I'm having fun. I can do this all day. There you go, guys. It's just one of my favorite pieces of equipment to make at home. You can work on your dodging, your movement, your precision, your control. It's just so much fun. I cannot wait to see what you guys have been doing with it and getting creative. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Or we'll see you guys next time.